Thanks for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We're reaching you from Abuja. I am Ronke Kolawole. With few days till the presidential election, the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign train was in the Ilorin, Kwara State capital, where President Muhammadu Buhari says his emphasis on the three cardinal agenda of his administration is born out of his total commitment and desire to build a just and egalitarian society. Salihu Abdullahi monitored the rally.
APC supporters from across the 16 local government areas in Kwara State converged on the Ilorin Metropolitan Square to show solidarity for the APC and its presidential candidate, President Muhammadu Buhari. Party stalwarts commended the show of support, describing it as a practical demonstration of their resolve to key into the APC change mantra for sustainable democratic practices.
We have traveled all the country. We have seen the people. They want Buhari to continue with what he has started. So those who are saying Nigeria will have problems, it is their own problem. Nigeria will witness sustainable democracy.
This is the celebration of your freedom. This is the celebration of the falling of the Berlin Wall.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, give reasons why the people should vote APC.
Today, 9,886 homes in Kwara State are benefiting from the conditional cash transfer, which gives 5,000 naira every month to the most vulnerable people. Tell them that 12,963 in Kwara State alone have benefited from market money, and 36,000 have benefited from trader money.
President Muhammadu Buhari assured the people that taking Nigeria to its past glory, where priority is given to ordinary citizens, drive his agenda.
I am very pleased with the performance of Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, because I listened to what he read to you on what this administration is doing in respect to Kwara State. I assure you that the undertaking we made in 2015 of the three fundamental issues this party believes in: security, economy, and fighting corruption.
Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo runs off house-to-house campaign in Ikorodu and Ekpe axis of Lagos State. The Vice President advised the people not to sell their votes and urged them to vote massively for President Buhari and other candidates of the APC. State House correspondent Gideon Ifade has the details.
It is another act that touches the heart. Here at the Tailewa area of Ikorodu, the Vice President arrives at the homes of their Riyos. At Berekojo area of Ekwe live their delicate Banyins. The Vice President visits and interacts with the members of the household. Both the Riyos and their delicates represent the class the federal government, with its social investment programs, says it is determined to take out of poverty level. And this is the message Vice President Yemi Osinbajo brings, giving them hope of a greater future.
Coming down to this level, we want to believe that we have Vice President that have us in mind.
Vice President Osinbajo, earlier on arrival, paid homage to the Obas in council, led by the Anyogbuni of Ikorodu, Oba Abdulkadir Adewale Shotobi. The monarchs commended government for the fight against corruption and improvement of the lives of Nigerians.
We are going to the next level, and Ikorodu is going to benefit from it.
Thereafter, the Vice President proceeds to address the crowd, made up of market women and men, artisans and power volunteers. Government, he says, has made plans to make available more funds to boost trade and commerce and to assist would-be entrepreneurs. Vice President Oshimbaju also addresses the AARE community in Sabo area in Ikorodu. At Ekpe, hometown of the state governor, both jointly addressed the crowd, calling on the people to come out and vote overwhelmingly for the APC candidates at all levels. The Vice President was also in the palace of the Elekpe of Ekpe, Oba Kamarudin Ishola Animashan. In Lagos, Jide Onifate, NTA News.
In the meantime, the League of Imams and Alfas in the Southwest have endorsed the re-election bid of President Buhari in Saturday's election. The endorsement was at a town hall meeting organized by the APC Presidential Campaign Council held in Ibadan. Lukman Hassan has the report.
The clerics who identified that President Muhammadu Buhari had contributed towards the development of Nigeria affirmed that his re-election will enable him consolidate on his achievements recorded so far. Program identified as giant strides of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration in the Southwest include road construction, fight against corruption, and provision of funds to market men and women.
With this man, Nigeria has future.
He's a pious man, a man of integrity. So we don't want those who have looted our treasure to come back to power.
Members of the campaign train said if President Buhari is elected this Saturday, it means more infrastructure development, more jobs, enhanced agriculture, among others, will be taken to the next level.
Cultural development across the country. Rail line now is working. Workers are not retrenched. President give bailout to other states to pay salary within the little resources that he has.
Ogun, Osun, Ondo, and Ekiti, they all agree together. They are all imam. Because of the integrity of these persons, they said he should continue with the good work that he's doing.
The clerics offered prayers for the success of the forthcoming general elections and victory of All Progressive Congress presidential candidate President Muhammadu Buhari due to his contributions to the development of Nigeria. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
The roll call of supporters for President Muhammadu Buhari has continued to swell. This time, it is the Akwa Ibom indigents from the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory. It is a strategic meeting held in Abuja, basically to re-echo the importance of returning President Buhari in this weekend's presidential election. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
The forum attracted prominent sons and daughters of Akwa Ibom State who were unanimous in their decision to give the governing All Progressives Congress the desired support to ensure victory for all its candidates at all levels. They believed under the APC government led by President Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria is on the right path to greatness and will surely maintain its position as the giant of Africa in view of all-round development across the country.
We have over 1 million Akwa Ibom people in northern Nigeria. So what that means with this endorsement, President Buhari is sure of at least 1 million additional votes for the APC.
President Buhari has also provided for the construction of two number 60 by 40 MVA power station to supply power to Ibiono, Itu, Ikono, Ini, and Ikorekpene.
The endorsement we are getting in Abuja is just in line with the endorsement that we're getting all over the state everywhere we go. It's the same thing that we get, the same news, the same euphoria that the people are showing and accepting the change agenda.
With this commitment, the people assured more votes for the successful re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari come February 16 and the governorship candidate of the APC, Obong Nsima Ekere, come March 2nd, 2019. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has earmarked the sum of 11 billion naira for the construction of Itu River Bridge in Akwa Ibom State. Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senator Ita Enang, disclosed this during a word-to-word campaign in Akwa Ibom State in support of President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election. Clement Barikwi reports.
This word-to-word campaign tour by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate, Senator Ita Enang, is geared towards reaching out to members of his local government area, Ibionibom.
Here I came to show them what President Buhari has done and show them also the plan to build a command secondary school, then area command of the police quarters here, and also to build the outstanding portion of the Calabar to Odukpane to Ikorekpene Road.
Convinced that a vote for President Buhari will open doors for more opportunities for them, the people unanimously adopted the President and all APC candidates in Akwa Ibom State.
He has the love of the people, and he has chosen those projects that touch the people very directly.
Work will soon commence on the project with 11 billion naira already provided for in the 2019 budget. When completed, it will boost business activities between indigenes of Ibionibom and Itu local government areas in Akwa Ibom State and their counterparts in Abia and Cross River States. From Ibionibom local government area, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the people of Bauchi's South Senatorial Zone have promised to convert their numbers to votes for the success of the All Progressives Congress in the national elections. Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad reports that party stewards and their followers made the declaration when the Bauchi APC governorship campaign train visited the 7 local government areas of Bauchi South.
The Bauchi APC governorship campaign train was in the nooks and crannies of Bauchi South Senatorial Zone that consists of 7 local government areas. With a lot of campaign messages and a reminder of the successes recorded by the APC since May 2015. Speakers told the people that the ruling All Progressives Congress is the only party that can take Nigeria back to its position of eminence. Governor Muhammad Abubakar assured the people that the APC at all levels is determined to consolidate on the gains achieved so far. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Stand Up for Integrity movement has declared its total commitment to the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and called on all Nigerians to do so to ensure overwhelming victory in the forthcoming presidential election. The group made this known in a press briefing in Abuja, as reported by Linda Ogidi.
It is another briefing to endorse President Muhammadu Buhari ahead of Saturday's election. This time, the Stand Up for Integrity group is saying none of the candidates except President Buhari represents what the group stands for.
New values for accountability and good governance is being instituted, and a new economy based on non-oil sector is gradually taking the center stage. The scourge of insecurity and kidnapping is being tackled, and militancy is under control. Another good news is coming from the agricultural sector. If I take maize as an example, the harvest as at last year stand at about 8 million tons. Now, turning Nigeria as the highest producer of maize in Africa.
In addition to listing out achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration within 3.5 years, the group offers special prayers for a peaceful, free, fair and general election. In Abuja, Linda Ogidi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the supporters of President Muhammadu Buhari in the diaspora have come home to demonstrate their desire for his re-election. At a symposium held in Abuja, speakers shared similar view that Nigeria's future is assured under the leadership of the president. Salihu Abdullahi has the details.
The elderly, youth and women converged here, all believing that the Nigerian project under the leadership of President Buhari beyond 2019 will bring the needed development to Africa's most populous nation. For the organizers, this is the time to highlight the administration's achievements as part of its electioneering campaigns.
Talk to your family, talk to your people that President Muhammadu Buhari is the only option. He's done a lot for the past over 3 years. That trillions of naira have been saved through that venture. The federal government under President Buhari has successfully turned around the fortunes of Nigeria. Essentially, we produce what we eat now, and we eat what we produce.
Participants here have been urged to see themselves as torchbearers of the president's achievements at the grassroots and ensure peaceful conduct before, during, and after the polls. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
We are here to observe the elections and not to monitor. This is coming from the former president of Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete, as he leads Commonwealth mission to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. Mie Ogidi reports.
In all its diversities represented, the Commonwealth of Nations Elections Observer Team has arrived in Nigeria. Former President of Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete, chairs the team, and he tells INEC their roles in the elections.
After visiting and observing the elections, the preparedness of the elections, the election on election day, how the elections are conducted, how the counting has gone on, we have a reasonable impression of how things have come. And then we'll come up with our report.
I reassure the international community that we'll always learn lessons from international best practice in ensuring that our elections meet not only our national aspirations, but international best practice.
The Commonwealth Observer Team was in Nigeria during the 2015 elections, and at the end made 32-point recommendations to improve on the electoral process in Nigeria, including the continuous accreditation and voting process, which is now adopted in the 2019 elections. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
And still talking about the 2019 general elections, the Department of State Services, DSS, has enjoined all stakeholders to be law-abiding and observe the rules of engagement to ensure the success of the forthcoming polls. A statement by the Public Relations Officer, Department of State Services, National Headquarters, Peter Afunaya, says the DSS will professionally discharge a statutory mandate, reiterating that prospective lawbreakers are forewarned to stay clear of acts capable of undermining national security and stability. The DSS encourages all citizens to responsibly exercise their civic responsibilities without fear, as security measures have been put in place for the safety of lives and property. You're still watching the news on NTA Network. Lagos is our first port of call today as we join Michael for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Michael.
Welcome to Lagos. About 110 canvassers have been inaugurated to further deepen the door-to-door campaign of the All Progressives Congress in Ikorodu Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Matters, Abike Dabiri Erewa, said this is to ensure that President Muhammadu Buhari and other APC candidates in the state get landslide victory at the elections. Amaka Owo reports.
These are foot soldiers that will take the campaign of the All Progressives Congress to the grassroots in the next few days. They will sensitize the electorate on the right voting pattern in the 30 wards that make up Ikorodu local government area. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Matters, Abike Dabiri Erewa, says President Muhammadu Buhari has promised Nigerians credible elections and has in the past 3.5 years showed good governance to the people.
The beauty of what I've said is they appreciate the impact President Buhari has made in the last 4 years, and they appreciate the fact that we can only go forward with him. backward never, forward ever. So we need to consolidate on these gains and achievements because it's building a solid foundation for this country, especially for the younger generation.
Other party stalwarts in the state said Ikorodu has over 150,000 registered voters, with additional polling units created by INEC, hence the need to encourage the people to exercise their civic rights.
This time around, we don't want our voting to be void, and that is why we want to educate the populace that they should be very careful
to mobilize members of the residents there who are qualified registered voters to actually come out en masse and vote for President Muhammadu Buhari.
The door-to-door campaign by the All Progressives Congress is also targeted at reducing voter apathy among Nigerians. In Lagos, Amaka Owu, NTA News.
Absence of the presiding judge, Mojisola Olatoregun, has stalled the delivery of judgment in the motion for final forfeiture of $153 million linked to Patience Jonathan, wife of the former President Jonathan. Vera Chimuba reports that this order is one of the several forfeiture orders against Patience Jonathan.
Justice Mojisola Olatoregun, who is expected to deliver judgment on the $153 million linked to Patient Jonathan, is said to be attending official function in Abuja. The EFCC had in June 2017 approached the court and sought an ex parte order for interim forfeiture of the funds under sections 17 of Advance Fraud and 34 of EFCC Act. Justice Olatoregun had granted the order and directed EFCC to advertise the order on 2 national dailies for interested parties to show cause why the funds should not be forfeited. Counsels to Patient Jonathan Ifedayo Adedipe and Mike Ozekome had urged the court to set aside the interim order earlier made, as Patient Jonathan is not a public officer under her husband's administration, and that no one had complained of loss of money to EFCC. EFCC counsel Rotimi Oyadakwa urged the court to order final forfeiture of the funds to the federal government on the basis that it was proceeds of unlawful activity. Oyadakwa had told the court that any person claiming ownership must show interest. President Jonathan's name, he argued, is neither among the company's directors nor appear in the mandate card of the company's account. Justice Olatoregun had listened to argument of both parties. She is expected to deliver judgment on the 28th of this month. In Lagos, Vera Chumuba, NTA News.
Quoting UNICEF authoritative figures, 22,000 children die daily from poverty-related consequences globally. Prompting this alarming trend by ensuring adequate food production through a sustainable agricultural framework, defined discussions among policymakers from different countries of the world at the 2019 World Peace Summit in Seoul, Korea. And President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, linked the ambition for lasting peace and security to eradication of hunger. Dr. Ogunyemi reports.
While several world leaders and former world leaders have signed the resolution, they are actually hoping that the first General Assembly of the Council will hold in February next year. Several world leaders have rightly said that the meeting between President Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un in a matter of weeks in Vietnam is actually coming at a very good time.
Noting that there cannot be peace in a world that is hungry, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina was awarded for his agricultural drive for flipping the script and delivering fertilizer directly to Nigerian farmers and avoiding middlemen, thereby eliminating corruption.
The future of Africa is not in oil and gas. The future of Nigeria itself is not in oil and gas. It's in agriculture as a business. At the African Development Bank, we've committed under my presidency $24 billion to agriculture to allow Africa to industrialize with agriculture.
Meanwhile, Waris Dire was honored for her work in ending female genital mutilation across Africa, where 3.5 million girls are still made to undergo the pain and suffering.
The United Nations estimates that about $3 trillion exchanged hands across the world due to corruption, making hunger an indictment on the world, which political leaders need to be accountable for.
With an estimated population growth of 10 billion by the year 2050, agriculture and global world peace actually go hand in hand, and Africa has a huge role to play in all of this. From Seoul, South Korea, Dotun Ogmiami, NTA News.
Thank you, Dotun. That's our contribution from Lagos. Us back to Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Michael. Few days to the 2019 general elections, the need for more interagency engagement to identify risks that might trigger election violence has been reiterated. Guests were speaking on the issue of mitigating electoral violence on NTA's flagship current affairs program, Good Morning Nigeria Today, said security agencies and the media must also maintain neutrality during the forthcoming polls. Lydia Sampson has the report.
The countdown to the first series of elections in the country is on, even as the excitement is in the air. Experts say all kinds of dynamics will play out. However, they are optimistic that with preparations in place, risk-prone areas already identified will be tackled with collaborations from stakeholders.
People masking their political opinions as spiritual instructions. Those are also very, very significant in dealing with violence, because when ignorance parades as authority and sits in a position where it's telling people this is the correct thing,
the security officials need to do what they can do to gain the confidence of the people, so, because there seems to be a burden, that it's been carried on from the Osun election in terms of how neutral the security agencies are.
These, they say, will go a long way in not only maintaining peaceful conduct, but earning the confidence of electorates. And the Nigerian police is emphatic that mischief makers planning to perpetrate crime will not be spared.
IGP Mohammed Adamu came to power. The first statement he issued is that the Nigerian police force under his watch will be very professional in handling everything concerning these elections. He assured Nigerians that we will provide a level playing field for all political actors.
The guests also stressed the need for political actors to restrain from utterances that will overheat the polity.
My major concern really is coordination of the security functions. According to the ISS guidelines, there is a concentric cycle of security. The outer cycle that will have armed protection, then the inner cycle that will also have armed protection, and then at the polling booth that there won't be armed protection. I'm worried about communication between these three cycles. I'm also very worried about the awareness of Nigerians regarding this security arrangement.
While commending INEC for acquiring a state-of-the-art electoral risk management tool, the guests urge INEC as drivers of the process to take charge and intensify more on voter education. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on the NTA. More news when we return. Felicia has more reports in Jos. Hello, Felicia.
Ronke, welcome to Jos. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has in the last 3 years introduced many innovations in response to challenges observed in past elections with a view to building a better and stronger electoral process. The resident Electoral Commissioner, Plateau State, Hussaini Halilu Pai, gave the indication at a town hall meeting in preparation for the 2019 general elections in Jos. Paul Dama reports.
This is not the first of such engagements between INEC and key stakeholders in the electoral process. What makes this one unique is the presence of the incumbent governor of the state.
We apologize for that technical hitch in Jos Network Center. And moving on now, valuable election materials, including 5,900 voter cards, have been destroyed following a fire incident that engulfed the INEC office in Kwanapan local government area of Plateau State. Head Voter Education and Publicity INEC Plateau State, Usareti Imahirebo, who confirmed the incident, told NT News that although the incident was a major setback in the election preparation, it will however not stop the conduct of the elections in the area. Mary Domtu takes the story from here.
Confirming the incident, Mr. Osariti Imahiriebo said the security man on duty had put fire on some obsolete materials evacuated from the store to give room for other materials expected from the state. But due to the heavy wind in the area, the fire raced down the entire office, uncontrollably destroying all the non-sensitive materials already deployed to the area for the elections.
We want to thank God that we've not deployed our card readers to those areas, so the card readers are not there. I've heard, maybe seen some social media saying that the card readers have been burnt. Not even a single card reader had been sent to Kwampan.
Mr. Imahiriebo said that the commission has, however, moved swiftly to address the challenge, assuring the people that the elections will still hold in that area.
Nothing is going to stop the election from holding there. The only challenge is that there are people who are there whose PVC is about 5,987. That is born. That is where the challenge is.
The Commissioner of Police and the management staff of INEC were on ground to assess the situation. Items lost to the inferno include 5,987 permanent voter cards, 297 ballot boxes, 17 kVA and 13.5 kVA generators, file cabinets, election forms, stamps, and 850 mats for registration area centers. In Jos, Mary Domtur, NTA News.
Following the recent petroleum tanker fire incident that claimed lives and property worth billions of naira in Oka, Anambra State, the governor has visited the scene to a certain level of damage with a promise to help those affected. Undem Kalu has an update.
Witnesses say the fire incident claimed 7 lives and many injured as property worth billions of naira were destroyed. Governor Willie Obiano, who came at the scene of the incident, expressed shock at the unfortunate incident and gave assurance that government will help the affected victims.
Very sorry about the casualties that were recorded. I hear about 8 people were injured.
We warn all our drivers, once it's 6 o'clock, don't apply road again.
At the time of filing this report, the situation has been brought under control and traffic diverted as officers of the Federal Road Safety Commission were on ground to enforce compliance. The incident was as a result of the fire that erupted when a tanker conveying premium motor spirit while negotiating the Amobia roundabout in Anambra State lost control and fell down. In Oka, Ndemkalo, NTA News.
It seems the challenge in Jos is over. We now go back to Felicia for more reports. Back to you now, Felicia.
Okay. As the 2019 general elections draw nearer, Operation Safe Haven, in conjunction with Community Care and Hope Foundation, brought together community and religious leaders, youth groups, and society organizations on a peace walk in Jos tagged Let's Work the Peace. The program is aimed at getting participants to serve as true vanguards of peace in the state. Sani Ibn Salihu reports.
The walk, tagged Let's Work the Peace, is aimed at sensitizing Plateau youth on the need to avoid violence and be peace ambassadors, especially during the 2019 general elections. Coordinator of the walk and Plateau State Governor, represented by the Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, stressed the need for the youth to extend the message of peace down to their localities.
The meaning that this work have sent to the minds of people in this state cannot be underestimated. Probably we have to choose other cardinal points of the state.
We, the citizens of Plateau State, appreciate the effort of those who really want to bring peace into this state.
Commander Operation Safe Haven said there is a lot to gain when people live together peacefully.
Let us cultivate the spirit of forgiveness and reconciliation. Because whatever that has happened in the past, let's keep it in the past and let us start a clean process that will give us an enduring peace on the plateau.
Awards were later presented to the Plateau State Governor, Commander Operation Safe Haven, and the Plateau State Coordinator of the NYSC for their outstanding performance. In Jos, Fran Ibn Saleh, NTA News.
And to our earlier story, we told you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has in the last 3 years introduced many innovations in response to challenges observed in past elections with a view to building a better and stronger electoral process. The resident Electoral Commissioner, Plateau State, Hussaini Halilu Pai, gave this indication at a town hall meeting in preparation for the 2019 general elections in Jos. Paul Dama reports.
This is not the first of such engagements between INEC and key stakeholders in the electoral process. What makes this one unique is the presence of the incumbent governor of the state, Simon Lalong, who is the APC candidate, and Senator Jeremiah Osemi of the PDP, as well as other contestants of different political parties vying for various positions. The Plateau State Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC, Halilu Hussaini Pai, said some of the innovations introduced include biometric register of voters, PVCs with multiple security features, a more transparent framework for result collation, more open and transparent procedures, modalities and processes on the election day.
Since the release of the timetable put in place, measures to ensure heat-free exercise.
The interactive session featured questions and suggestions from participants, including Governor Simon Lalong, with emphasis on the need to disregard rumors, fake news, arrangement for IDPs to participate in the elections, and the need to curb the activities of conflict merchants during the elections.
Those who are prophets of doom should not discourage the people from coming out to vote for their life.
It was also resolved that more sensitization be carried out by INEC, while the Commission remains focused on delivering free, fair, credible and transparent elections. In Jos, Paul Dama, NTA News.
Governor Simon Bako Lalong has declared every 7th February as an annual public holiday to be marked as a day of prayer and sober reflection towards forgiveness for the past wrongs done in the state. The governor disclosed this at the inauguration of Garden of Forgiveness and Peace located along Tafabalewa Street, Jos. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
Plateau State had over the years suffered series of crises with many lives lost, properties destroyed and relationships severed. It is for this reason that this Garden of Forgiveness and Peace is being commissioned to chart a new path and rewrite the narrative as well as restore confidence in the people. Governor Simon Lalong stressed that the Forgiveness Day should be marked in prayerful reflection to break the cycle of violence that once engulfed the state.
As the governor and the chief executive of the state, I stand on behalf of the good people of Plateau State to be the number one to ask for forgiveness from all the children who have lost their parents because of our intolerance of each other.
Every day we do something to offend God, and He is so generous, so magnanimous that He forgives us. And the condition is that we must also learn to forgive unconditionally.
I stand here today to say the only way forward for us in Plateau State is to forgive.
Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, Director General, Plateau Peace Building Agency, and other key players emphasized the therapeutic power of forgiveness and called on the people of the state to put the past behind and forge ahead. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
That's our package from Jos. It's back to you, Ronke, in Abuja, for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Felicia in Jos. And talking security now, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has destroyed an Islamic State West Africa province training camp and neutralized several terrorists at Makonori in northern Borno. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, says the operation was executed after intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance aircraft observed significant human activities with several structures, equipment and vehicles spotted camouflaged under the dense vegetation in the area used by the terrorists for training. The statement adds that 2 Nigerian Air Force NAF Alpha Jet jet aircraft were dispatched to attack the location, dropping their bombs successfully within the camp, leading to massive fires and resulting in neutralizing several terrorists, while battle damage assessment by ON and allied ISR later revealed that the terrorists suffered heavy casualties as a result of the airstrikes. The Nigerian Air Force further reaffirms its effort to completely destroy all remnants of the terrorists in the northeast. And now to women issues. Overcoming institutional and market failures, limiting women's economic outcomes in Nigeria are pivotal in empowering women for societal growth and development. Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development Aisha Abubakar said this at the Nigeria for Women Project Committee inauguration in Abuja.
And with this, I hereby gladly inaugurate the committee. I don't know, the members need to stand up.
These are the members of the steering committee of the Nigerian for Women project, formally inaugurated by Minister of Women Affairs. For some time now, formal laws that established equal rights for men and women in Nigeria are said to be insufficient for women to realize their rights and achieve equal outcomes with their male counterparts in the country. The project seeks to bridge the gap through multidimensional and medium to long-term approaches with a view to contributing to women empowerment.
So the steering committee for the Nigeria for Women project is part of our ongoing efforts towards the provision of a comprehensive solution to the menace affecting women, especially livelihoods issue. I can assure you that this government is determined to mitigate this, and that is why we have put together this eminent team.
We would like to appreciate our president for deeming it fit to see that this project is approved, and we want to assure you that we will not disappoint the federal government. We will not fail in our state.
The project is actually looking at how to improve livelihood conditions of women, by bridging the gender gap.
Terms of reference of the committee includes overseeing all interventions under the project in line with the appraisal document.
Let's take another break now. More reports when we come back. Glad to know you're still watching Nationwide. Let's talk sports now.
The duo of Peter Itiku and 19-year-old Elizabeth Ayanacho rounded off Team Nigeria's performance by winning gold in the male -80 kg and female -67 kg categories on the final day of the 2019 Nigeria Open Taekwondo International Championship at the Abuja National Stadium Velodrome. Team Nigeria clinched 9 gold and 1 bronze to lead 14 other countries on the medal table of the G1 World Ranking event.
It was not really easy because I was having this unusual energy loss, which I don't normally have.
The level is really good, and I think it represents the level of Africa.
Uganda's Eva Mangala emerged overall champion of the 21st Ladies Open Championship, which ended Sunday at the IBB International Golf and Country Club Abuja, with the top 5 players set for more world amateur golf ranking points. The handicap 4 player grossed 244 over 54 holes to edge out Nigeria's duo of Rachel Danjuma, who finished with 248, while Aminat Wilfred was 6 shots off the pace with grosses of 250.
Rachel Danjuma led up to yesterday, but hole 2 and hole 4, she said she missed it, and then she gave it to the Ugandan.
Tributes have continued to pour in for former Secretary General of Nigeria Football Association Taiwo Ogunjobi, who passed on in Ibadan after an undisclosed illness on Monday. The former 3SC of Ibadan player and general manager served as the scribe of Nigeria's apex football governing body from 2002 to 2005 and was, until his death, the chairman of Osun State FA. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
Now time to take a look at the weather pictures across the country. And weather runs off nationwide this beautiful Monday. We thank you for staying with us. Join us at 7 for international news and the network news at 9. I am Ronke Kolawole. Good evening.